So for many adults, many kids do a good impersonation of a Rubik's Cube. All these constituent parts. And if you just flick them in the right way, you just move them just so, you're going to get the face of Jesus in the cube or whatever it is you're after. So here's what I'm saying. A kid's not a Rubik's Cube, obviously, nor is a kid a problem to solve.
Yeah.
So if the stance is you sit across from them trying to figure out how to best impart this information in such a way that's not traumatizing them, at the same time grips them to their mighty core,
yeah,
you might be asking the wrong thing. Your whole game could be wrong. Why? Because it's not predicated on what the living life of a child requires. It's predicated on trying to feel that you're doing the right thing for that living life of that child. So if you cease and desist on the notion that a child is a problem to solve, the first thing you change is your seating arrangement. How so? Well, you don't sit across from them, making them the object of your inquiry, you see, and then testing them ongoingly with little litmus tests of sensibility for whether or not they're getting and understanding and tracking and following and indulging you and the rest. So what it's did, well, don't sit across from them anymore, to the point where you can't, from where you sit, you can't actually quite see them very clearly. And where would that be? Oh, something like 45 degrees off center from them. So they're looking across the front of you and you're looking across the front of them. And wherever those two gazes intersect, that's the focus of your attention, not the child, where the two gazes intersect, see? And in so doing, what you'll be able to do with great practice, I should say, is you'll be able to see perhaps not the child so much, but what the child sees. You mean see from their point of view? No, not exactly, because it's still the world. See, it's not them. You keep trying to slip that in, but it's not them that should be the focus of the encounter any longer. It should be the mystery. And the two of you should not be on opposite sides of the mystery. You should be gathered together in its name, you see. That's what you're there for. To pay more than lip service to the fact that stuff happens in this world that nobody really understands if they're telling the truth, especially grown-ups. So then how do you, I mean, it's a terrible word, I hate the word, but how do you model the notion that adults have as much obligation to submit to mystery and the inscrutable as kids do? But you do. You do. This is what kids need to learn more than anything else, is they can trust the ambivalence and uncertainty of grown-ups, because grown-ups have learned how to be properly ambivalent. But I haven't met many who know how. And so kids, properly so, they hold adult certainty and at the same time in some weird high esteem, but at a bit of a distance as well, because they're not inclined to imitate it. Not for a while. I mean, eventually we all learn how to talk that talk, but out of the gate, not so much. So in a nutshell, that's how you do it. What comes out of your mouth, well, I mean, you're gonna have to live with it, right? Hopefully you've really thought about it and you've thought about the filters it passes through to get to your lips and what you're after, what your expectations are. See, but if you get 14 seconds on the finality of death with a 7 or a 10-year-old, that's pretty good for all concerned. They don't need more than 10 seconds of the finality of death. They don't need to be able to be engaged in, high emotive, rational conversation with you on the matter. I mean, you can't get many adults to do that with you. You certainly can't ask it of a minor, right? But what you can do is show them that while the mystery is concerning and confounding, it's not fear-inducing by nature. It's awe-inspiring instead. So you as a grown-up, or as a father in this case, have an obligation to practice awe with your kid looking on.
If you enjoyed this clip, the full episode will be made available up here somewhere, so feel free to check that out. If you're someone that's interested in working one-on-one with me and developing your practice of presence, reflecting on your life at the moment, and calibrating your trajectory, then feel free to head over to todaydreamer.com and get in touch. There's also a full catalogue of episodes available on the website, which are there to help you cultivate the practice of presence so that you can more deeply participate in the blossoming of the emergent world story. Until next time, be well.